Let us now move on to another aspect of Panini's grammar. What is the logic for sentence construction? At the end of the day, we make sentences, and there ought to be a logic, a certain methodology with which we need to understand how a sentence is being constructed. Let's get some basic logic in place. For a sentence to be complete, there must be a verb. It can be implicit or explicit, denoting an action. Otherwise, there is no sentence possible. If someone merely says dosa, nobody knows what it means. Are you eating dosa? Are you cooking dosa? Or you like dosa? We don't understand. In this particular example, you need a verb. I am not able to implicitly assume a verb. Mere dosa does not tell me anything. That's the first thing we have to understand. Second thing, verb must be associated with other words denoting the participant and other attributes connected to the action. Every language has this. It's not that only Sanskrit has it, every language has this. For example, merely uttering comes or leaves, there is a lot of ambiguity here. Nobody knows who came or who comes or what for he came, where from he came, and so on. On the other hand, if we say Ram comes from Chennai, Yusuf comes with his friend, etc. If you make those kinds of sentences, it makes more meaning. So merely a verb also sometimes does not make. So there are two things we are talking now. Verb is fundamental to sentence. Verb cannot hang alone, and it needs some other things as part of the sentence. So these are the basic building blocks of sentence. Now let us see how the Sanskrit language, which all Indian languages also share by the by, this structure. Let us see how the sentence are formed in English. We will take Sanskrit also, and we will try to understand this whole issue. So here is a English sentence. It says, the fat boy eats the tasty food with the hand. So that is the English sentence. If I have to convert it into Sanskrit, stulakaha balakaha, which is a fat boy. Tasty food is swadu bhojanam. Swadu bhojanam with the hand, So hastena, eats is kadati. So stulaha balakaha, swadu bhojanam hastena kadati. That's what you see here. But let us do something with these two sentences. Now on the left, you see sentences in English, and I have kept on changing the order. So there are 5 orders here. The fat boy eats the tasty food with the hand. That's the first version. The fat hand eats the tasty food with the boy. That's the second version. The fat food eats the tasty hand with the boy. The food tasty eats the fat hand with the boy. The boy eats the fat food with the hand. So I have simply jumbled the words. So what I have done is, I have jumbled the words in many different ways, and you get nonsense, you get funny meanings, you get improbable ideas, and so on. On the right, you have the Sanskrit sentence. Stulaha balakaha swadu bhojanam hastena kadati. Stulaha hastena kadati swadu bhojanam balakaha. Stulaha bhojanam kadati swadu hastena balakaha. Swadu bhojanam kadati stulaha hastena balakaha. Swadu balakaha kadati stulaha bhojanam hastena. I have also jumbled all the words in Sanskrit, but surprisingly what you will find, the meaning will not change. Even if you jumbled all the words, the meaning does not change. The reason is, see, there are several cases, second case, third case, right? And there is an adjective which is there, all that, fat is adjective and all that kind of thing. Now, the cases in English are separate. Hand, with and hand are two separate words. Whereas in Sanskrit and all Indian languages, the case is attached to the verb itself. So when you carry that word anywhere, nothing happens. The meaning does not change. How does it really happens in Panini? Let us see. So Sanskrit language uses a concept called karaka to provide inbuilt mechanisms for constructing unambiguously and grammatically correct sentences, because the cases are all built into the verb itself now. A participant involved in the action in some manner is called karaka actually. And karaka helps to link the words in a sentence to the action. So there is a kriya, there is some action, and everything must be linked around the action. That is the basic building block of this entire sentence formation. So look at this picture for example, and in this picture what you find is there is this verb here, apakaroti. Apakaroti means removes away. That is the meaning actually. Take it away. Now who is removing? Yantrakarakaha, the technician. So that is also attached to the action now. And what is being removed? It is the yantram, the machine. So which is the object which is being removed. And how did he remove? Vahanena, with the vehicle. That is a third case. So this is a third case. This is a second case. This is the first case actually. Vahanena, with the help of a vehicle. Where from did you remove? Karyalayat. This is called fifth case. And when did he remove? Or what is the substratum on which the whole thing is happening? Pratah kale, in the morning. This is actually seventh case. So because the kala and the kale is seventh case of kala, which is attached to the kala itself. That's why all these are like that. Vahana, vahanena, karyalaya, karyalayat. So the cases are all attached. So you can jumble these words anywhere. Nothing will happen to the meaning. You can write whichever way you want. So this is how this whole idea of karakas are there in Sanskrit. All Indian languages also have the same thing. So let us understand the 6 karakas in this example. The first karaka is the doer, one who is the cause of action, where the action is resident in the above example. The technician is where the entire action is happening. So that's why it will be always in the first case. Then you have the locus of the result of an action, which is called the object, right? So the removing action is directed towards the machine. So it will be in the second case. So yantra becomes yantram now. And the third case is which aids in the attainment of action to make it easier. So the vehicle made it easier. The truck made it easier. So that is the third case. And there is a fourth case called sampradana or receiver. That where the object really goes or gets associated. In this case we don't have it in this example, but that is a fourth case. Then there is an apadana, which is you separate it from somewhere. You separated an object from somewhere and took it out. It created a division. It was taken away from the office, no? So the office is now removed away from the office. That becomes the fifth case. And then there is a context in which it is working. The context is morning time. So that is a substratum on which everything is happening. So that is the seventh case. This is how in Sanskrit language the karakas are used. The cases are all attached to the verb itself or whatever the noun or whatever it is attached to the nouns actually. So that you can put it in whichever way you want and still the meaning does not undergo any change and so on. The sixth case can attach itself to any of the other 6. That's why it is not included in this example. In the above example, for example, the machine can be vehicle. The vehicle can be somebody's. So that can be a 6th case. Or the machine was removed from somebody's office. So that can also be 6th case. So anything which is indirectly attaching to the main action will come in the 6th case. This is how all these are there. So each word, so what are we seeing here? Each word in a sentence presents a meaning, and all these meanings are related to the action directly or indirectly, and they are so tightly linked. So even if you move it here and there, there is no confusion. So if a machine reads it, it doesn't matter in which order it is there, the machine will still get the meaning. That's why it may be useful for some NLP kind of things actually. So on account of Karaka concepts and these linguistic arrangements that we have, the sentence formation is very robust and leaves very little scope for ambiguity in the Sanskrit language. So this is something which is very good about this Paninian structure.